Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot and we are back with our Let's Build Jurassic Park series, and a hell of a lot has changed since the last episode. We're still obviously on the same old map, but I have been exceptionally busy. I've probably put about 15 hours of work into this bloody thing. That may be an exaggeration. Let's call it 5 hours of work. Let's call it 5 hours of work before this video. So the first thing I did was fix the bloody helipad. This little bit here was a little bit off, as people mentioned, so I've gone ahead and fixed that. I've also completely shifted the waterfall upwards. You'll see it is substantially bigger than it was in the last. It's probably about twice the height. Shut up, phone. It's probably about twice the height it was in the last episode, so it goes really high, and that meant I had to pull up all this bit on the left as well. And I've also deepened the lake a little bit. That little fishy is... No, it's not a fish. What the hell? Why did I think there was a fish? Because the dirt, I guess, and the waves on the water? Whatever, there's no fish there. Okay, so I pulled all this up. If you look at it from the sky now, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks quite like it does in the film, you know, this big sort of drop valley cliff kind of area. Anyways, so a common complaint in the last video was actually the ordering, in that it doesn't go this gate. That isn't the correct order. It goes this Brachiosaurus visitor center gate, I believe. Or was the visitor center after the gate? I've kind of forgotten. Either way, it doesn't matter until next episode. Oh god, it does. Oh, it's gonna matter so much. Anyways, so what I've done is I've done a little thing here. Meow! Instead of going straight ahead, the path turns. And the gate is still there, and that path is still there, so we're going to come join that at a later date, basically. But for now, the path is going to turn here to the right-hand side. And we're going to head up here towards our Brachiosaurus exhibit, or what will be a Brachiosaurus exhibit by the end of the episode. Now, while I still have your attention nice and early in the episode, there is something I need to ask you guys. I also need to check my email. I need to ask you guys, basically, I don't know what to do with the path. I've gone for this so far, this kind of dirt-stone hybrid, because it's kind of like a dirt path with the little bit in the middle, which is how it looks in the film. And I'm just trying to balance between it looking good and it looking like the film. Like, just doing this, I think, makes the path look just so much better. But I'd like to maybe design the path a little bit more. It's very simple at the moment. Eventually, it's going to go just one block down the middle as well. But there's a reason for it to be two at the moment. I don't know, basically. I don't know how to design the path to make it look good, but retaining that kind of simple feeling that the path in the film has. So any suggestions would be lovely. Anyways, we have a lot to do today, so let's get a move on. You're going to head down here. Now I'm going to put trees and stuff over here. I've kind of skipped that for now. And you're going to drop down here. Now my plan here is, I think you're going to get out of the car. I think right here, actually. So we'll probably get... Actually, we can do that really quickly now. Just click here. Go over here. Click. And set the grass. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so you're probably just going to get out of the car here and then get back on. I will block off the left so you can't just run away. And right here is where we're going to have that first Brachiosaurus. This used to basically be like a little hill, like joining like this. So I've cleared all this out, made it all look nice and blocked off the edges a bit. And right here we're going to have a Brachiosaurus. Now the first thing we need to do to make that happen is make sure that the edges are tall enough that the Brachiosaurus can't escape. I did actually record this entire video earlier today. Well, last night actually. But the problem was I didn't have block breaking off. So the Brachiosaurus escaped pretty bloody quickly, it must be said. It did not take the Brachiosaurus much time at all to escape from the exhibit, which isn't really what we're going for, unfortunately. So I'm going to just clean all that out a little bit. It doesn't look like the most natural thing in the world, but if it keeps the dinosaurs contained, you know, I think that's kind of the important thing at this point in time. So let's just knock all this in. Place that with dirt or grass, as it were, just so it looks a little bit nice. Get out of the way, piggy! There we go. Right, so this area shouldn't be escapable. My problem is, how do I make the Brachiosaurus not just come over here, basically, and walk up here? In the film, it's very open, you know, there's no fences or gates in this area, or there probably is, but they're very sort of spread out. You know, you don't see them. They are in a different area, basically. Any perspective fence that you don't see in the film, it's somewhere else. You don't see it in the film. So how do I block in my Brachiosaurs and still maintain the natural kind of feeling that I'm going for? I'm thinking of building up this left-hand side all the way down to the edge there with 2 blocks high. And then you'll walk through like a little gate here, and you'll walk into this area, and it'll all be blocked off at the sides by 2s, except that far edge, which I will just hope the Brachiosaurus doesn't escape. People will recommend barrier, but barriers weren't added to this game until 1.8, so unfortunately we can't use barriers. But we are going to put the Brachiosaurus in today anyway, no matter what. And we're going to add a big old tree for the Brachiosaurus to eat from. But the main focus is going to be this area down here. And this is where the time went. Down here, if I show you guys, this was a mountain. And I mean a proper mountain. It was humongous, this area. And there was a massive river going along here and stuff like that. This area was huge. And I have basically spent a lot of time just knocking it down. Obviously, those edges are rubbish, but we can fix that later on, that's not a big deal. And this right here is going to be our scene where the Brachiosaurs and the Parasaurs are spotted off in the distance. The reason I've got this hedge here is because I think that's about where I'm going to have the start of the river, right here. So the river's going to come across here, join in there, and we can make that look a bit nicer. Then there's going to be a bit of land on the right-hand side that kind of juts out, and that's where the Parasaurs stand. And then the Brachiosaurs are going to kind of be in the river. Okay? All making sense? All making sense. I think when I first did this, the river was about probably here, and the Parasaurs were like here. And it looked fine, it looked pleasant enough, but it didn't have that sense of scale. You know, this is a huge scene. This is probably the biggest in terms of scale scene in the entire film, and I really wanted to do it justice. So I thought, you know what, I'll just put the bloody work in, and we will make it happen. I think I might pull this a little bit further to the right, the river. So, we are very much focused on the building today, on landscaping, as it were. And I'm just going to get started. What we're going to do is just knock out a big old portion of land. The plan is to knock out a square-shaped river, basically. And then we can edit that as need be, once we're done. So, is that where I want the river to start? We've got to imagine this is where you're going to be standing. This is where they were standing at the film. If you look at it in the film, they're kind of standing at the top of, like, an immediate drop. Not like a harsh drop, but it hills down, which is why I've done this gradual hill here. That took bloody ages as well. And then it gets to the bottom, and then the field extends forward, and that's where the dinosaurs are. I think it's about that distance. You kind of want them to be far away. You know, I think they need that distance in order to have that kind of majesty to them. So let's say that's going to be the start. So this has to extend all the way over there. So let's get that done first. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Let's go meow all the way over here. I don't know how people ever do anything without this tool. I swear to God, it is the greatest thing in the world. How anybody ever lives without it, I don't know. Look at it go. Meow. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Right. Okay, so next step is making sure that the Brachiosaurs can't escape. So I think to do that, all I need to do is block it off at the side so it's too deep. Because I'm in too deep. If anyone's curious how you turn off block breaking for your dinosaur mods, and it is an important thing if you're going to do this type of series, you, I was going to tell you guys and I've completely forgotten. If you go to your Minecraft folder via run and then percentage, I don't even know if that's got a proper name, but I'm going to call it percentage and percentage. Apps thing. Get to your .minecraft folder is what I'm trying to say here, right? And there's a folder called config in that, and within config you'll have something called fossils.cfg or fossil.cfg. Can't remember if it's plural. And if you go in that, there is a block breaking thing, which by default is set to true. You just need to change that to false and then save the file, and that should take care of any problems. I'm just gonna make this into a little mini lake. This isn't really the focal point of the area, but I think it's just important to make it just look a little bit more natural. You're not even going to go over here, but I think if this is here, it's going to look a little bit better. I know that looks a little weird right now, being so straight, but it is going to be flooded with water. Okay, that is the shape of the lake. The Brachiosaurs can't get out except over here. Need to think about this bit. It's about doing it naturally, and that is by far the hardest part. I want to break in this corner, I know that much. So it's like a more diagonal across here. So that already looks a lot more natural. But then we have to make a boundary from there to here that they can't get across. Now, if they're walking underwater and I just build it 2 up from there, that should work, right? So if I just go from like... I don't know if that will work. I'm going to find out. We're going to test it, okay? Because this is the only way to make this look good and natural. Because it'll look like the river does extend, even though it doesn't. Okay, and let's... Oh, we have to pull this across as well now. But that's okay. I may drown down here. Yes, okay, we're fine, we're fine. See what I mean? I'm hoping they can't get out over that if they're underwater. It's optimistic, I'm not gonna lie. But we shall see what happens. It is time to get a little bit wet, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. This might take a while. Oh no! Mistake's been made. Is there an easier way to do this? Is there an easier way to just flood the entire world? Because if there is, I don't know what it is. I'm guessing there might be mods out there that do it, but if there's a way to do it with what I've already got, I have got no idea. I've never actually filled, I don't believe, a river quite this big in the history of my Minecraft playing. I don't think we've ever worked on anything this big. Maybe the visitor shelter in last season. That was a big project, but by and large, this is one of the biggest things we've ever done. Just this general scope of this area, you know. Proving my dedication. Basically, what I'm going for here. I really want this to be good. I really, really want it to be good by the end. I love the idea of just being able to walk through Minecraft franchise, Jurassic Park franchise history, and it annoyed me that nobody had done it before. So, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna drown many farm animals in the process.
Houston, if you're ready, we'll maneuver. Reaching out.
Okay, I think we are good to go. I think we are ready for dinosaurs, pretty much. I decided to add this little bit on the left because at the end of the day, you don't actually see it anyway. And I think just to make sure any potential Brachiosaurs can't escape, assuming 2 blocks is enough to keep them contained, otherwise this whole thing is an absolute failure of a plan. Anyway, we're going to very quickly grab ourselves some jungle saplings. Somewhere. Oh no, I'm not allowed to do it up there for some reason. Let's grab ourselves some jungle saplings from down here. We're just going to make this whole area down here look a little bit more alive, basically, first of all. So let's... No, not what I was aiming for, thank you. Let's just go ahead and bone meal it up. We're going to do this pretty much throughout the entire game. This bone meal stuff just makes it look so much better. The fertilization just brings it all to life a little bit. You know, it's very pretty. I don't love this. Can you bone meal grass? Sandy, but no. I don't love the colour of this area. This sort of tepid green, but it's not that big a deal really. You're not actually down here for the exhibit. This is just the corner of it, and I do like how it fades into the nice bright green over here. So, you know, good with the bad. So let's just make all this look a little bit nicer, and then stick some trees in here as well. Get out of the way. Many trees, actually. We want this to feel quite like a little forest sitting at the back. Hopefully without me having to build like a mountain behind this area, which I might still have to build up this area here behind it so it has a backing to it. But we shall see. Many trees! Many trees. Hopefully they're all different heights. It's hard to tell at the moment. But we'll see when we zoom out how it all looks. But this is pretty much what it looks like in the film. Or maybe I should use birch. No, too late. Too late to apologize. Come on. You do have to click many, many times. Because the game is trying to build it at certain heights, kind of thing. I think that's how it works. And basically, every time you click it with the bone meal, it tries to build it and it fails. So then you click again, and it tries again, and it just like uses a different height or a different scale. And you kind of keep going until it works, basically. That could be completely incorrect, however. God only bloody knows, so don't quote me on that, please. Thank you. I really want this to be packed with trees, though. Nearly there. This is probably the last one. Let's have a little play out here. So, oh, stop it. Thank you. Yeah. I think I am probably going to have to put like a hill of grass behind that for it to look good. Like, kind of match it to that right-hand side, because at the moment it looks a little bit weird. But otherwise, it's pretty okay. Now, we need quickly to do the same over here. We need a tree here. That's not a tree. Yeah, that'll do, actually. That's, oddly enough, that's quite what I wanted. And there's a tree about here. So let's put one there as well. Lovely jubbly. And we're going to nip across and do this as well. A little bit less than last time, just because it is actually meant to be a big old grass field and it's less lush, I guess. But I still want a bit of it in, just 'cause it makes the whole area look a little bit exciting. You know, definitely at the base of the tree in particular, I think, like that. Bit over here as well. Well, let's do the same over here, just brighten the whole area up a little bit. Make it look pretty, okay? It's not pretty, what's the point? I think it's actually ruined it. I kind of instantly regret that decision, I'm not going to lie. It looks nice up here. It looks nice when you're close to it, and then you're far away, it's a bit weird. But that is pretty... I mean, that's quite close to what I'm looking at on my screen right now. It actually is. You should be able to see off into valleys in the distance and stuff, but there is only so much I can do. I think that blocked off. A few more trees along here. And it's good. It's good to go. Right. Right. Let's add some dinosaurs. Finally. Let's add some dinosaurs. So, first things first. Brachie. We're going to put in slightly less Parasaurs, just because the Parasaurs in the game are freaking ginormous, as it happens. Okay, this is it. This is the tester. It's go time. Can you just stay there and be chill? That would be really good. Thanks. Hi, guys. Okay. I'm just gonna go for 3, whereas in the film there's 5. Mainly because of that terrifying noise they make. Stay on the land. Stay on the land. It'll look good if you stay on the land. I've already committed to this idea. I might as well just do it. And let's get some over here as well. Whoa! Okay. I need to turn off dinosaurs eating. Because that's stupid. Yeah, I think you can turn off dinosaur food in config. And the final bracket... Now, they aren't moving much, which is a good sign, right? Hopefully they're just kind of chill there. Annoyingly, you can't actually see them from so far away. Where are you going to go? This has actually worked out really well. So much better than the last time I did it. Oh my god. Right. So you come around the corner. Imagine this is all trees, right? I don't want you to be able to see the Brachiosaur until you come around the corner. Get rid of this quickly. So you can't see these trees, and you're going, oh, this is nice, isn't it? And then the settlers are like, hey, Grant, look at this leaf I found. Look how old it is. Ah, and you're like, oh, okay. And you drive down, it's just like, oh yeah, leaf. I like leaves. Leaves are cool. And then Grant grabs them by the head, twists, and and so forth. And then they go, and then they get out, and they look at the edge, and they see the Parasaurs down by the river, and the Brachiosaurus is in the river, and Dr. Hammond goes, welcome to Jurassic Park. And then Grant says, how did you do this? And Hammond goes, I'll show you. And that's when they go on the little theatre ride, which is what we're going to do next episode. good, isn't it? I think it's really worked out. I need a tree here. I forgot about that. I need a big old tree. You have got up that hill somehow. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. Okay, I need to kill this one. This is the one thing I was worried about. The others are going to stay in because they are naturally blocked in. You have like a hill to... I'm sorry about doing this, by the way. You're adorable. I don't want to murder you, but I kind of have to. I really wish I could have an invisible block. If it was Minecraft 1.8, we could do it. Sorry, babes. Yeah, we need a tree here. Big tree, hopefully. I think there might be a way to... I think if it spawns in and it's tamed... That's not a bigger tree. We need a bigger tree than that. If it spawns in and it's tamed, then it won't try to escape. We can set it to not move, which is probably going to be what we do. Probably the same with all of them. They're all making me a little nervous. They aren't escaping, but it's a little bit on the iffy side. I think you'll agree. Let's go check out these guys. You're not going to get this close in the exhibit. You are going to be this far away. Actually, what I want to do as well, let's make it sunrise. Look at that. I can't believe how much work that took just to make it look like the film. But you know what? Go away! It was totally, utterly worth it. It really was. That's awesome. Brachiosaurus in the mist. One thing I want to show you guys quickly before we go. Set the time to noon just so we can get a good screenshot for the from there. On this side, so we've got a nice colour. Lovely jubbly, that'll probably do if I just reverse it. Okay, so as part of the shader mod, if you set it to rain, this is really cool. This is going to make it awesome for the Jurassic, the T-Rex exhibit in particular. Just give it a second. Okay, it's not doing it anymore. Ah, there we go. Look at that! Look at that! How good's that? Like the wet texture on the floor. It's awesome. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. When we head down here. Okay, let's make it nighttime as well. Look at it! It's awesome! Yeah, this is coming together really well. So, next episode, ladies and gentlemen, next episode is a bit of a challenge, right? Let's turn the rain back off. You actually are too far away from the dinosaurs to see them most of the time. Next episode is a challenge, because the idea was... I said this, the peaceful, why is there zombies? So let's talk about this. The next thing they do properly is they meet the kids at the visitor centre and then they go on the tour through the little cinema screen and into the lab, right? That's like the big thing. They see the hatchery, they see the baby raptor being born. I'm not sure how to do it. I don't mind building the visitor centre. It's going to take a long time if we decide to go that route. I don't mind going that route. The problem with that route is that we also need to be in the visitor centre later on, because obviously the climactic scene of the film with the T-Rex and the raptors in the visitor centre, that's going to have bones falling down, it's going to have dinosaurs in the middle of the visitor centre, right? So you can't do both. If all you do is build a visitor centre and decide to put everything in there, it's not going to work, because the first time you'd go in, you'd have a T-Rex or a raptor roaming around in there. Or you wouldn't, and the second time you go in, there wouldn't be a T-Rex or a raptor. So it just doesn't work. So what I'm thinking is doing like a modular kind of thing, where basically what we'll do is at some point we'll go underground, and this is going to be really helpful actually, because at the end of the day we need to do that from here to there. You know, we don't have much room to work with here. So I'm thinking the path is going to curl here, go straight underground, and we'll do the whole scene underground here, and then you'll pop back up here, and you'll turn right into Jurassic Park. I think that's where I'm going with it. And the idea being we'll go under, we'll build like a cinema screen room, build like a little Mr. DNA in it somehow, I don't really know how, but we'll do like a cinema screen room, and then you'll go into the next room and we'll build a lab. We'll build a full-on lab like we've done in past seasons. Then you'll exit, you'll get on the car, you'll go through the gate, and then next up would be the Dilophosaurus exhibit. And then the Triceratops, and then the T-Rex / Nedry. I'm not sure on the order. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the best way to handle it. Because the idea, like I said, is not to recreate Jurassic Park one for one. It's to go through and experience the big scenes in the film. I don't think the visitor centre was that massive a deal in the film, personally. But we're going to have to basically build it for the climactic finale anyway. And I think it's much better to have it for that finale than it is to have it any time before then, basically, if you know what I mean. So, underground theatre / lab doesn't strictly make sense, but best we can do. And then you carry on. And then in the end, you'll walk into the visitor centre. There'll be a T-Rex and bones and raptors and you'll run away and escape. And you'll get out and you'll fly away. You'll be happy. Done. That is the plan. Thank you very much for joining me. I shall see you lovely folks in the next episode. Cheers, much love, and as always, bye-bye.